The horrific story of Dr. Yukon is a sadistic, sickening tale. So grab your popcorn and turn the lights off, as we're about to tell the downright disgusting tortures that Bugle performed on his patients. So please prepare yourself. Born during the Prohibition era, Buglemont growing up as a kid always had terrorizing tendencies of tearing tibias out. That even caused his own mom and dad to have concerns for his mental well-being, especially after an incident where he was found diagonally dissecting the diaphragm of a dying Danish Dacidor cub, with his choice of weapon being a shit-smeared farmer's scythe he sculpted out of Down syndrome scorpion stingers needle tips and Korean koala feet bones, including another incident where he attacked a kid in class after an argument over optimal origami skillcraft. In 1930, Joe Louis' jarring juggernaut junta jabbed the shit out of the kid's jaw, causing severe fractures in his funky face. Despite this, no one would do nothing about it. This shown, he always had great knowledge of biology, craftsmanship, and even violence and strength, and other things he would use to commit atrocities later on in his life. Fast forwarding to high school, he had very good grades, capable of getting him a scholarship, but an idiot, ignorant introvert with a weird style of fashion that set him apart. Division. Known for not matching, he famously wore a mustard-stained button-up flannel and Hungarian glow-up Heely-Wheelie shoes with Shaolin monk ball-head sweat laced on it. Somehow, having one friend, he got a scholarship to university where he started studying to be a doctor in the 1930s, where in his college life he often had dark demonic ideas of destroying his dormant life. Literally. His dormant name was Jackie Ursula, and this was the start of a madman depravity. Before his murder spree, as a doctor, him and Ursula would talk a lot, and were actually great friends. At least, that's what Ursula thought. On one hot summer night, Ursula was asleep while Buglemont was planning his attack. A wolf in a sheep's clothing, he would be dressed in all black, while doing sneaky, magical, master-like, masochistic 360 Michael moonwalk steps up the stairs to the dorm, armed with a schizophrenic surgeon scalpel shank in his left hand. With his heart pumping with a grueling grin on his grill, he creeped on Ursula, and Ursula woke up and heard him, let out a horrifying scream, while Buglemont thrust rushed Ursula and started sadistically arm push puncturing, poking his epiglottis into pieces, severing the trachea and the triplets. It was for sure a bloody scene, with spit, piss, shit, and throat organs everywhere. He cleaned up the scene somehow, without a trace left. With wonderings of Ursula's disappearance, cops were investigating and never found a trace. Weeks went by, eventually becoming a thing of the past. He passed college and became a physician. During this era, there was a lethal medical practice called along the lines of lobotomy that involved doing strategical, sadistic, centering, sword severing incision slits inside the brain lobes, with the goal being to save the mentally fucked. Yukon Buglemont would cure his patients normally, and he rapidly rose the ranks. This perfectly disguised him as the nice guy, as a nice, great, kind, skilled physician helping the ill. But then, his first violent violation on his vulnerable victim took place, where he was supposed to perform lobotomy on a patient with bipolar disorder. As the patient came in the room, Yukon stayed behind him angrily. He proceeded to 540 boom kick his bitch ass in the back of his head. He Hulk Hogan picked him up and carefully crucified him on the wall with semen-saturated HIV syringes and slowly slingshotted Siberian ice shards into his heart ventricles, causing it to crush and pop more than soda cans. Next day, after he had another patient that came in for something that didn't require lobotomy, but he convinced this patient to lay down so he could give him a heart check. Just as the patient was going to lay down, he chopped his leg skin off, but the patient fearlessly fought back with him. But Yukon was way too strong for him. As they were grappling, he 360 Mike Tyson foot dashed out the way and then lifted him in the air. He jumped up with him and began to homing heavy hook, Horatio and Hamlet, hepatitis, anvil, haunting hellhammer, hand punch, smash him in his stomach with a steaming strike, sent him sword flying 5 feet in a glass cabinet, with injection of shiny shards entering his anus, anxiously aching his asshole with bubonic blood boil pus pouring out his ass. He was dead and gone in a matter of minutes. Buglemont silently smiled at the scene, running away from the hospital, never to be seen again. Randomly vanishing, the cops would never be able to find out how, when, or why, or where he would be placing the bodies at, or where he was at to begin with. This is a weird and strange story that will remain unsolved to this day.